Hey guys, today we're going to be doing is anagram. So basically, an anagram is a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letters of a different word or phrase. So basically, they have all the same letters and the same number of letters. So given two strings S and T, we're going to return true if T is an anagram of S and false otherwise. Okay, so here we're just it's so easy. We're just checking to see if S contains the same number and types of letters as T. And so one way of doing that is using buckets for the letters. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, if we have an array, and let's say our array is 0, 0, 0, 0, okay, and we're only doing A, B, C, D, and E. All right. So we're checking to see if, let's say our language only consists of A through E. Well, if we have two words, and let's say sacred and I don't know. And scared. Okay, so basically, this would be string S. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, string S is sacred, and string T is going to be scared. And so basically, we're going to loop through both words, and whenever we have a letter here, I forgot that let's just pretend that these are, let's get rid of this and this aced, and here we have, we'll say cade, okay, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so whenever we have a letter here, that a letter that is A, we're going to, in string S, basically whatever's in string S, we're going to add to our array. And then whatever's in string T, we're going to subtract from our array. So here we have an A, so we'll add a 1 to our array. We have a C, we'll add a 1 to our array for C. So this would be A, B, C, D, E. We have an E here, we're going to add 1 to our array. And then we have a D here, we're going to add 1 to our array. But at the same time, we're going to be going through CAD. So on this string, in the same pass, whenever we have a letter here, we're going to subtract from our array. So here we have a C, we're going to subtract 1 from our array, we get back to 0. We have an A, we're going to subtract 1 from our A bucket, and we're going to get back to 0. We have a D, subtract 1. And we have an E, subtract 1. So we've gone through both words, and our array is going to be 0 for all values at all indices. Okay, and if it's 0 at all indices and we've gone through both words, we know that it is an anagram. Okay, so let's look at that in code. So we're going to set up that array, and since we have 26 letters, that's what our array is going to be called, and it's going to be a new int array of size 26. Okay, and so basically, if they're not the same links, then they can't be an anagram. So we can go ahead and check that condition real quick. So if s.length is not equal to t.length, okay, and then that, we're going to return false here. And then we're going to loop through our array the first time to figure out if those letters exist in our words. Okay, so here we're just going to loop through our array or our words, and since we know that the words are both the same length, we can just use the length of either word. So I is less than s.length I plus plus. And so here we're just going to increment or decrement those buckets. And so here we're going to say letters at s dot char at minus the char a. Okay, so that's going to get us to a value between 0 and 26, not inclusive. Okay, and so here we're just going to say plus plus. And then here we can go ahead and copy the same thing. This is going to be t, and this is going to be minus minus. All right, and then we're going to loop through it again. So here we have gone through both words, we've incremented and decremented. Now we want to check to see if any values in this array are not equal to 0. Okay, and so I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. And this is going to be letters. And here we're going to say if letters at I is not equal to 0, we're going to say return false. And here we're going to say return true. All right, so this is our solution. Now, this works for just the alphabet, but if we wanted to do Unicode, we could do that, right? So how would we do that? Well, we could just do a hash map. And so whatever Unicode is there, that would be our key, and our value would be the increment or decrement of that. And then we could look at our key value pairs to see if there are any that are not equal to 0 at the end. So that's how we would follow this up. But this is only for just the regular alphabet. Okay, I just want to make that clear. But adding a hash map to this would not be that big of a deal. So let's go ahead and run this, see if we have any issues here. Of course we do. Cannot be applied to given types. Letters. S.char at. Okay, so char at what? Okay, so char at I. That's going to be our index. And it says that it cannot find letters. We have it right here. Letters.length. Now, what's the issue here? Well, this is an array. This is length for a string. That's what you get when you copy and paste. You're bound to make mistakes like that. Don't let it happen during an interview. Talk it over, and don't copy and paste trying to save a little time, because ultimately it's going to bite you in the end, and you're going to be like, oh, I should have changed that. So let's go ahead and submit that. And we get a decent runtime. So we talked about the regular alphabet, we talked about Unicode, and this is a fairly easy one. So if this ever crops up in an interview, now the technique that you could go for. Increment, decrement, buckets. Okay. Like and subscribe if this helped you at all. And, I'll see you in the next one.